So look, I am so sorry I can't be up there with you guys. I looked at the website, it looks fantastic. I was really wanting to meet and listen to all the other motivational speakers, but so it was not only for me, but also for you guys that I wanted to be there. Look, I guess there's a few things I'd like to say. The first is that the reason I'm not there is because a 51-year-old lady from Perth has an enormous brain tumour that was diagnosed just on the weekend. She's having an angiogram today, and she's got to have surgery tomorrow. It's causing significant mass effect, which means that she probably is unlikely to survive more than a few days. She has four young kids, a marathon runner, a pretty amazing person, and I just felt that no one else could do this tumour. It extends from the left frontal base all the way back to the vertex. It's absolutely enormous and incredibly bloody, and it's going to be a very difficult case, probably take me 12 hours or so. I know that isn't the best excuse in the world because, I should have predicted that these things were going to happen, but unfortunately you can't predict brain tumours. They are occurring more and more frequently in young people, and when they come on, they don't give you much warning. There's a thing called compliance, which means that the brain can actually compensate very well for mass, and then when it deteriorates, they deteriorate very rapidly when they lose all their compensatory mechanisms. So once someone has vomiting and headache, it means that they usually only have a little bit of time to live before they die of raised pressure. So it is unfortunately unpredictable and pretty urgent when they present. I wanted to talk about essentially what motivates me and what keeps me going, and the lessons I've learned from all the acrimony and all the criticism I've received from my colleagues over the last decade since returning from America. There's really not much I can say. I was going to show you a slide production that basically shows what I do and why people are so much against it. It's basically taking neurosurgery to the next level. Many years ago, the general surgeons would open the abdomen to do a cholecystectomy and have a big incision, and then these people came along and said, why don't we do it with a telescope and through a mini incision. It was opposed vehemently by conservative surgeons and the conservative medical fraternity, but eventually it became standard treatment, and now it's almost accepted as a given that why would you do things any other way? Well, we're going through the same phases with neurosurgery where we're trying to minimise collateral damage, decrease morbidity, and improve results by minimising these incisions and the approaches to brain tumours. And of course it's suffering from the same criticism and resentment and antagonism and denial from the conservative portions of the medical fraternity. So I've borne the brunt of that essentially. They've been openly critical, covertly critical. They've tried to have me deregistered. They've even tried to slander me. They've even taken out an advertisement in the Australian newspaper saying that I am not a pioneer like I say I am, that in fact I'm just a self-promoter and do nothing different to 98% of neurosurgeons in Australia. So they've gone to a lot of means to basically derail me, and I'm still here. How am I still here? Well, again, I was going to go through the whole process, but in short, I think it's essentially because I've taken the high road. Treat your patients well, treat them like you would a member of your own family, do the right thing by them, don't let ego overtake your clinical decision making, certainly don't let money and financial sort of gain overtake your clinical decision making, be very honest, report your complications as much as you do your successes, and if you take the high road, then of course they really can't get you. The other lesson I've learned is basic tenacity. You've got to stick with it, one step at a time, keep at it, and eventually of course you'll succeed. And that's a lesson that I'm sure you've learnt and will learn from all the other speakers today. Finally, I think it's really important to have a well-balanced life. How have I done that? Well, essentially I love my work. I spend probably too many hours at work, but I also have a very satisfying and rewarding family life. I have 4 daughters who treat me like any other father with no respect at all. I have a wife who bitches at me constantly, and I guess that keeps me very grounded when you start thinking you're pretty good, and all your patients are applauding you and congratulating you and telling you you're a godlike figure. But then when you get home you realise that you're actually not. So it's important to have that family life, that grounding. I'm also very fit, and I think that is important to maintain physical fitness and physical health for mental health. So there's a few other lessons I would love to have shared with you. I really want to come back. To Gary Birtwistle, who's one of the organisers of the Day of Inspiration, I apologise profusely. To you guys, I apologise sincerely. I hope you do understand that it was beyond my doings, and it's just something that unfortunately came up at the last minute. My best wishes to you all. I hope you've had a great day, or continue to have a good day, and I promise you I'll be back up there at some stage, and I hope you can all come and join in for the next Day of Inspiration. Thank you.